He's a senior insider for the NFL. We have a Kennywood insider. Now joining us, senior NFL insider for NFL Network. Ladies and gentlemen, the host of the weekly wrap-up with Rap Sheet and Friends, us being the friends, he being Rap Sheet. Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Raporport.
Hey, baby, Rap Sheet. Rap.
Okay, so hi guys. I have some questions. Actually, two questions. One, and I don't mean this in any sort of shot at Michael Cole. No, I really don't. I'm just curiosity. He shaved his armpits for that pose, or is that a normal course of action?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't even notice. Let's zoom in there.
Look at the armpits. He's like, you know what? I'm going to pose down. Get me the Bic, or, whatever your razor of choice is. And maybe people don't use Bics anymore. Give me the Gillette. People are going to see the armpit hair. Can't have that happen. Shave right away, and then let's go. Is that what happened?
Interesting. He might be a guy that doesn't have armpit hair, though, either. Like a lot of I don't have a lot of armpit hair.
I don't either, and he has no chest hair.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of armpit hair, but I got back hair and chest hair. So I got a lot of chest hair.
He's a hairless guy.
I got back hair. I don't have prominent armpit hair. Yeah. It's not like a thick armpit hair. So maybe he just has a lighter armpit.
It's like a naked Cole right?
I call shenanigans. No way.
You're saying he shaved his pits?
Well done.
100. I would.
The bodybuilders do.
Yeah, isn't that like a WWE superstar thing?
Definitely.
Or
shave the body.
He could have waxed or laser. Also options.
So WWE and bodybuilders, very normal to shave whole body.
Correct.
Have tans, a little bit of lotion on it, or glisten a little bit.
I've seen it. Yeah.
He didn't do any tanning or glistening. I see. So I don't think he was preparing too much, but he certainly has been working the upper body.
Sure, no doubt about it.
Okay, let's move along. What does your shirt say? Does it say boob?
Oh, put it in the books. Mets shirt. Let's go Mets. Big Mets win last night. I was sleeping, but won against the Dodgers and extras. I saw online people are saying it was a battle of two super teams, and to that I would say, yes, it was.
Okay, Michael Cole, massive Mets fan as well. I think you guys are the second best team in the league?
I don't know what the standings say.
So you don't know.
I would say the best.
Tigers are the first.
Yeah, so I think they're second best then.
Other league.
The Tigers?
They're good. Mets are
third
good.
best team in the NL.
Okay, third best team in the NL.
Record-wise.
Cole follows every pitch, every at-bat.
Love it.
Unbelievable. This guy stinks. Every 2 seconds, just outbursts from him following.
During the broadcast, he's got the mini?
Yeah. During the broadcast, if it's a big game, he is certainly checking down and being dramatic about it too, head into.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just in the middle of
You got to understand the psyche. We've been through, me and Cole and the rest of us tortured Met fans. We've been through a lot, and now it's getting good. And so this is the time to get emotional and really feel it. Now, in September, we'll probably be feeling it some more. Those playoff games are a lot, very stressful. But I look forward to it.
Well, I appreciate the fact that you just say you're a Mets fan because you get free seats for you and the family from the Mets, so you have to kind of do the gimmick. I appreciate that.
If they want to give me seats, I will for sure take them.
How about an opening pitch? You do an opening?
I did that already.
How'd it go?
Crushed it. It was during COVID. It was actually ridiculous. It was during COVID.
Fauci.
And I had to wear a mask. And my wife.
Down the middle.
I did. It's on the internet. My wife had to be my catcher because at the time the rules were there could be no cross-contamination. So she's got some game, but she was so nervous that I would bounce one at her shins, and then she would be, look at that. Yep.
Well,
go back.
I
was so nervous.
Yeah,
oh my god.
Oh my god.
No, you couldn't get right on the rubber. So you can get in front. You can
Who said?
And I'm
Who said?
Yeah, I'm getting on the grass.
Aw,
yeah.
Look at the Raps. Big hug, success story. That's a pretty good throw, Rap.
I was so nervous.
Guy's got a little good arm, doesn't he?
He does have a pretty good arm.
He's got a pretty good little arm.
What a wild time.
He's got a pretty
good little arm.
Brought my catcher's mitt because,
Ridiculous.
If you had to do it again, would you have worn the mask?
Or would you have gone up to the rubber? What are they going to do?
Two gumps.
They're not going to tackle you.
No.
They might.
What
if they would come up and got mad at you? You would have been like, took the mask off?
I do not. Oh, yeah. I do not need that. No, the problem with going up to the rubber is it naturally makes the ball sink, just a little. So instead of here, it's the shins. And the last thing I need to do is have a pitch that is not catchable for my wife. That would have been very, very bad for me.
I think they need to get you back out there in front of the whole crew.
Without a doubt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you need to get up on that rubber. You need to show those pearly whites. And you need to throw gas. God. You need to try to make that register.
heart was like, I don't get nervous about anything, and I was like out of breath. I'm like, this is how people feel.
You just drink your way through life. You're not going to get nervous.
I had a couple beers beforehand.
Yeah, of course. All right, let's talk a little bit about the NFL, shall we? The Carolina Panthers released some draft footage that was spectacular. And I think there's a lot of pieces for us to chat about. But if you haven't seen, this has come from the Carolina Panthers from draft night, more specifically pick number 8.
Some trade discussions going on at the time, but I was kind of hoping that the trade would fall through because I really wanted to take T-Mac.
O-line or tight end at 7, so our guys going to be able to...
Let's just hold off and see if the Rams call.
Yeah.
I'm wired, and you guys can see it on the blueprint video. Like, I want to trade up, I want to trade back. I just want action. When Mason got picked, I knew we were going to have an opportunity to trade our pick. We had action.
It's kind of big for us. No pressure, though. It's fine. I'm fine.
So the Rams wanted to come up, and when you're coming up from that far, or you're moving that far back, the compensation becomes a lot trickier.
Run the clock. Yeah.
Do you know what you want to do?
Mm-hmm. I do. No calls yet.
Oh, hang on.
What's up, man?
Just sitting here. What do you got? Before we went on the clock, before the draft even started on Thursday, like we had it figured out, like, okay, it's going to take this for us to move back to 26. So it's 8. We're on the clock, and the Rams are asking, hey, do you guys want to do this trade?
All right, let me collect it. All right, what did they say on their side?
We had a little bit of trade stuff going on that we were kind of working through. You know, they would have had to give us the moon for us to trade out of that spot.
It's still not the same deal we talked about. Mm-hmm. So for me, it was no different than free agency or even doing an extension. Like, I'm just following a script and a plan. How does that compare with this one?
Yeah.
Would you do this right now?
Yeah. No.
You would?
Oh.
The one we offered?
Yeah.
Would you do this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Either they do it or
Yeah.
we're just going to call it.
Okay. We will do the thing that Dan had proposed. Okay, cool. All right, they're talking about. Like, I could feel my heart pounding. Eric leaned over to me and he was like, this is like a multi-million-dollar decision for us. I'm like, okay, great, thank you.
There's 2 minutes left. You know, I remember looking up at the clock when he didn't get picked at 7 and he was there, like, it was like, boom.
We already knew what we were going to do. There's just a question of, was it going to happen? Hey. Okay, cool. All right, bye. They're out.
All right. T-Mac.
We like T-Mac. What I saw out of that video is a lot of things. Brant Tillis, I believe is his name, the executive VP of football ops, has a lot to say and is very chatty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Morgan, general manager there, is actually consulting with him throughout the entirety of it. I think what they were waiting on was a full haul. Like, hey, if they're going to offer us something that we can't refuse, we'll do this. But instead, let's get T-Mac. You saw Canales, the head coach, offensive guru, on the far side of the table, like, yes, let's go get T-Mac. What I noticed, though, was there's one point they looked at Tepper to get an answer. Tepper didn't say shit. All anybody has said about Tepper is that he's hands-on, too handsy, he's too involved. He's not letting the football people do their thing. We just watched in the biggest moment for their franchise, first-round pick, top 10 pick. He just sat there and let everybody do their jobs. I think if you're a Panthers fan, you love everything you saw there. Do you agree, Rap? And what were they looking to trade for there?
Okay, first of all, I do agree. I noticed that too. Like, Tepper was right there. You could tell, obviously, like, in tune with it, but let them do their thing. Dan Morgan and Brant Tillis have a really good relationship, and you could really see them kind of feeding off each other, like Tillis with the numbers, knowing kind of the value, on the phone with the trades. Morgan being like, all right, if we're going to do this deal, and, I really felt like they wanted to pick. There was all this stuff beforehand about, like, Panthers are open to trading. Obviously, they were, but, like, T-Mac was a guy who you could tell, like, they wanted to pick. They would have had to be blown away. They didn't get their deal very quickly. T-Mac. I thought that was a cool moment. The Rams were the other team. They were on the phone with them. And there had been, some rumors about the Rams potentially coming up. Obviously, those were real. I believe T-Mac would have been either the choice or very much in consideration, which is so interesting because I think the pre-draft process, at least like the rumor mill, wasn't really kind to
Davante, Puka, and T-Mac?
Jeez.
Right? I mean, but that's how, think about how highly the Rams had to consider him to be willing to trade all the way up. Like, that means they think he is a true number one elite guy. And for the Panthers to turn down what they no doubt had to turn down from the Rams, that they think that too. And I think, to me, that kind of puts it in a little bit of a different light as far as like how highly thought of a prospect he was. I love that clip.
Yeah, I do too. I appreciate all the teams giving us access. You know, this is like why Hard Knocks kind of lost its luster, because all the team social and digital content teams are giving us access to shit that we've never seen before. Watching the 4 power players of the Carolina Panthers make the decision in real time on what they're doing, obviously watching it back, but you get it. That was beautiful. And if you're Tepper, hey, that was awesome to watch.
Right track.
Like, that's a lot of trust. That's like a lot of trust.
And I think that's where, like, you know, people talk about owners meddling, which I hate that term because they are the owners. Like, they should do whatever they want, really.
Agreed. That's what I was about to say. If I'm Tepper sitting there and we're doing that whole song and dance, and I'm like, Canales, how do you feel? He's like, I love T-Mac. Morgan, you could tell, wanted T-Mac.
Yeah.
He's the general manager of the team. And then we're waiting for Brant Tillis, okay, who
Important.
I agree, very, very important. But watching them all just kind of let them do their thing and then like process it and get to the end, it's like, that seems like a very sound operation. That feels like what the Carolina Panthers were considered 2 years ago, year and a half ago.
Bingo.
Complete opposite from just that clip. And feels like it's going to work out. Good for them. Go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, Ian, Frank Ragnow announced his retirement after 7 seasons from the Detroit Lions. Did you know this was coming? Did the Lions know it was coming? I assume they had an idea. And, like, how do you, was it one injury that put him over the top that he was unable to come back for? We listed all the different things this guy has played through.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, well, let me get to your question first. The Lions knew it was coming. They, he's been absent from OTAs, and I think there was some, like, does he want a new contract? Like, the Lions knew he was weighing, should he play? My understanding yesterday was he was truly broken up about it. Like, this is a warrior. Like, I remember 2 years ago, or maybe last year, I think it was 2 years ago, I got word that he had suffered a serious injury. I believe it was a rotator cuff, something that obviously is a guy's out for the season. So, I kind of get ready, I make some calls, and I talk to somebody close to him, and I'm, talking to Lions sources, and they're like, hey, hang on, like, don't report that. I'm like, okay, but, like, obviously, it's serious, and they're like, it's Frank Ragnow, like, he wants to come back and play. And, like, for any other player, not any other player, but a lot of other players, I'd be like, okay. And, like, he came back and played in 4 weeks. And, I mean, that's what he was like. I mean, this guy was like the heartbeat of one of the NFL's best offensive lines. So they knew. I think he knew. He's been through so much. He's played through so much. It seems like his body was just like, it's time. But this was, as people might say, a dog.
Yeah, absolutely. Congrats, Frank. Hell of a career. When people think of your name, they think of a guy who's tough and played the game right. And you're obviously there for the transition from the old Lions to the brand new Lions. So it just kind of epitomizes everything the city's about, I think, Foxy.
Yeah, 100%. The epitome of a Detroit football player. Tough, gritty, always showed up, played for his teammates. The fans loved him. Everything you wanted in a football player, Frank Ragnow was that. We appreciate him so much. Definitely going to miss him this year. That's going to be tough.
Yeah, and also old Lions would have asked him for $10 million back.
Yes.
True.
Brand new Lions say, hey, we'll celebrate you probably. If I had to guess. Sheila Ford Hamp is doing things a little bit
Put
different.
him in the Ring of Honor.
Immediately.
He deserves it.
Yeah, have him, Kid Rock, Eminem.
Yep.
Oh,
Big
Tim
Sean.
Robinson, Posner.
Tim Robinson, Posner. Put him up.
He didn't go through those shitty days to retire unless it was something super serious. So I'm bummed for him, but very happy for his career, and I hope he's doing good in retirement.
I think he's even going to say, like Posner, bury me in Detroit, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, 100%. He'll say that.
Yeah, he got
exactly.
married there.
And he loves fishing, so he's going to be listening to a lot of do-do-do-do-do-do-do. So, yeah. He'll be just fine.
I mean, his whole Instagram is like hunting and fishing. Like, I went to check because I had heard that he was going to post a statement. You want to try to be respectful and hope guys kind of do it the right way. No, I'm serious.
Guys,
so, like, you wait till he hits send.
Yeah, I wait until I see
hunting
the
and fishing.
first sentence out there.
Finally.
Jesus, I've been sitting on this for 2 days, Frank. Golly.
Or 2 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever. It doesn't matter.
What?
Anyway.
Oh, you're so kind, Rap. Isn't he so kind?
Doubt it.
Hey, now,
I thought so, too.
To your point, though, of what you just said about how good of a human you are, Rap definitely knew about my retirement. Yeah. Rap was a part of my retirement press conference that was pre-recorded, and then 4 hours later, Rap didn't think I was worth it, so he just said, yeah, sure, nobody will say anything about this, and then he just moves along. And I respect that out of you.
I wonder how many clicks, how many retweets on it got. Have you ever looked
on
because I had the initial tweet that you retired when it finally aired.
Yeah, I'd say probably 15 to 20 of them. Who knows? I mean, that was a long time ago.
That was a long time. I didn't even have a picture. I'll have to look on.
There wasn't shit going on that Super Bowl week, though. I do remember that. My retirement became like a thing. It happening on Comedy Central was also quite a moment.
Yeah.
You know, hey, guy retires from football on Comedy Central with Barstool up there. I think a lot of people thought it was a joke. You know, like, why would this idiot punter retire? I was like, you know what? I think it's time. And boy, there was a couple times I thought it was a stupid decision, I will say. You know, as we're
really?
Oh, yeah. There's been numerous moments that popped up early there that I was like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? This is so much work. Everything is so much work. But then obviously in the end, can't be the guy that retired early, made a big stink out of it, and then failed. You know,
Good point.
So that can't happen. So had to get a good group of people around me, and we had to continue to put the nose to the grindstone, just like we know Frank Ragnow will, in whatever he chooses to do. Is he going to be one of these Iron Man offensive lineman guys that goes down to like 185?
Yeah, I actually saw a comment on his Instagram. One of the boys on the team said, hey, I can't wait to see you nice and skinny in the offseason. So that'll be awesome. Then, Rap Sheet, one more thing on that note. Have you known about this long enough? They definitely drafted the guard out of Georgia for this reason, knowing they had to replace him?
I don't know. I've known about it for a couple weeks. I don't know that they specifically knew about it that long, but that makes sense to me. Like, if
you knew, but the Lions didn't.
Sure.
No. I don't. What I mean is, I don't know that they knew. Draft was like 2 months ago, or I don't know, whenever it was, 1 month ago, a month and a half ago, whatever it was.
I couldn't
I don't know that it was.
I couldn't even guess.
5 weeks.
Seems like a million years ago.
On Thursday, it'll be 5 weeks, I believe.
All right. So I don't know that they knew for 5 weeks, but like he played through so much, they had to know that it wasn't going to be forever. So like I don't know if they specifically drafted him to replace him, but they knew that a replacement was necessary at some point.
Perfect. Let's head down to Duval.
Yeah, Jacksonville. I want to ask you a couple questions about some players down there. First of all, Travis Etienne, the running back, had a dynamic first couple years, but kind of fell off a little bit. Is he available for trade to other teams? And then the Travis Hunter update. What have you been hearing about him down in OTAs?
All right, so Etienne, he was available and sort of subject to trade rumors last year. Last regime, it doesn't feel the same to me, and I feel like this new regime is more like let's get him in here, let's see if he can be the productive back that he has been, and hopefully, again, they have some good backs there. They have some guys who have really flashed, but it feels to me like more so than like let's see what we can get in a trade. It's more like let's see if we can make use of this really, really good talent. Now, you get to the trade deadline next year in October, and it's not happening. Like maybe then. I don't get the sense they really are going into training camp wanting to trade him. As far as Travis Hunter, I mean, it seems like it's been really good. I mean, it seems like it's been really good. He sort of alternated a little bit between offense and defense, trying not to overload him, trying not to get him to do too much, but like a lot of juice, a lot of energy, kind of infectious. You can sort of see this guy being, I was going to say defensive face, but I don't even know if it's on defense. Just one of the faces of the franchise very, very quickly. Just like a magnetic personality. And as a player, I don't exactly get the sense that Jags are like, well, we overestimated. Like, I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah, Stoner said this is a statement about the opportunity that we have here down in Jacksonville the day after drafting Travis Hunter. One of the greatest promos I've ever heard from a football general manager on why they did the move that they made. But you're talking about if you can bring juice to that city, they're going to be through a lot. They got a whole new stadium. There's a lot coming down the pipe in Jacksonville. Feels like Liam Cohen, Stoner, Travis Hunter, and Trevor Lawrence hopefully are in it for the long haul. Good luck to everybody down there in Jacksonville. And ETN being available, hold the phone.
Yeah.
Hold the phone. Let's have a conversation.
Maybe not. Rap, she kind of made it sound like, hey, we'll see what we've got.
Yeah, Rap gave the classic.
Don't buy into this shit.
Yeah.
I believe him.
Trying to drive interest.
I believe him.
Yeah, he is. He's trying to run up clicks. This guy's just trying to run up clicks.
I do like my clicks.
He did that last week.
Hey, you asked about the clicks on the tweet that you put out about my retirement. I think it had.
Oh yeah, how'd I do?
5.1 thousand retweets. That was before.
What?
Yeah, it was before.
It's a lot of retweets.
Feels pretty big. Feels pretty big. Only two bookmarks. I don't know if that bookmark was around back then.
It was not.
Who bookmarked it just to keep it? Was that you?
No, I did not. To be clear, I didn't know that you put this tweet out until you reminded me of it right here. I thought.
Look at the time.
It's a lot of likes, too.
12:25 a.m. Yeah, it was late night, brother. We were having a good time down there in Houston. I mean, I couldn't get into the restaurant. I couldn't get into the restaurant to do the thing. I didn't have the proper band. I was outside in line to get in before the announcement was about to make. Like 10 minutes before, couldn't get in. Had to call somebody that had come get me in. I was like, thank you, Jesus Christ. And then I'm sitting on the stage 10 minutes later. And then a couple of minutes after that, I'm standing next to PFT as we're signing out. And maybe that was the next day. PFT goes, hit me in the balls as hard as you can. And I'm like,
what?
Yeah. Bang! I mean, it was a full-on. It was a great.
You did it?
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Right as the show ended, cut to black. Right.
Yeah, it was as soon as it in there. And I'm like, PFT, this dude is a genius. Absolute. I love this man. And that old Barstool run, I learned so much about so much. And it started with an Ian Raporport tweet.
Wow.
That's what I'm learning. Wow, what an honor.
History.
What an honor for all of this. Okay, let's move to some other moves that are potentially happening right now. Tone has a question for you about his beloved Steelers.
Yeah, Rap, a couple things about the Steelers. In a shocking turn of events, I saw a report today that Steelers are not considering trading for Jonnu Smith now. That was a shocking turn of events there to see that. Never could have called that one. And then there was a report also that Gabe Davis is visiting the Steelers. That one actually does make some sense. What's the situations there?
Yeah, so the Steelers have been over the last couple of weeks. You know, it's hard to find players now. Like honestly, like a lot of the really good ones are gone. The ones who aren't are older guys who are kind of taking their time and not in a hurry, or just out there for a reason. Gabe Davis is a little different, was cut late, so like a good player who is available and really cheap, like unbelievably cheap because he's due so much guaranteed money in Jacksonville that it's complicated, but basically like no team could give him enough money to make it make sense. So he's going to play for the minimum.
Russ Wilson.
Like yes, exactly. Wherever he goes, he's going to play for the minimum. That's an amazing deal. The Steelers have been looking for not a tight end per se, but another target. So like Jonnu Smith, like I would imagine Kyle Pitts, Gabe Davis makes sense. Like they've been looking for someone else. And he has really, really taken his time. But this would make a ton of sense. And like the feel I get from the Steelers is like kind of loading up, you know, like doing like all the resources, all the spots, everything you can. Obviously, there could be a quarterback there at some point. Hopefully soon, maybe before the end of the summer. But that's what it feels like, kind of loading up to make one more run at it.
On that note, Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Rap Sheet. Any update on the Aaron Rodgers situation? I mean, everyone just assumes he's going to Pittsburgh.
What are the Steelers saying to you?
Yeah, because as each day passes, it kind of seems like there's a chance he's not going to go there. And then if that were to happen, like would they look at Kirk Cousins or like where are we at right now with Rodgers and the Steelers?
We're sort of, unfortunately, where we were, which is them giving him, he's dealing with his personal stuff, them giving him his time, them hoping and believing that he is going to join them and be their quarterback, but not 100% knowing. And I think it's, you know, it's crazy, but like there's been nothing to kind of push that. Now, this time next week when the Steelers are mandatory minicamp, maybe it changes. That might be interesting. And that would be a time when it would make sense for him to go in, sign if he's going to sign, get his playbook, go home for the summer.
Find a smoothie.
Everything's good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, and look, so that's my thought, and that makes the most sense, but it is Aaron Rodgers, so I would literally rule nothing out.
Okay, well, whenever you find something out, let us know, okay? That'd be nice if we get a little piece of information from your side, because we're not hearing anything from AJ's side either. Nope. So we don't get a chance to really...
Well, hold on. He's hearing. We're just not. He's not sharing with the class. It's circle time, and AJ's not sharing.
Agreed. That's kind of what he does in this situation. But I would assume that AJ would say, I don't know if anybody really knows what's going on with that whole deal.
Yeah.
Ian, when you said he could sign by next week because of that mandatory minicamp, is that just your personal opinion, or are you hearing something from Steelers brass that maybe...
Follow-up question.
I'm not hearing anything from the Steelers.
So this is your own personal hope, is what AJ just said. Is this you just making up another deadline?
I mean,
Rap, what's the
let's just be clear. This is my, well, I've been playing a lot of golf anyway, but this is my personal hope. So just so we're clear, like, I would love... I'll tell you the best case scenario for me. Yeah. First of all, I break it. That would be really good. Second of all, I am in my studio ready to go on TV and talk about it because that would be really good. Yeah. If I'm like somewhere not available or like phone service is bad, like that. Yeah. I mean, that's, you know, I'll be paying very close attention whatever happens because you got to make sure you're ready for TV because that's a pretty big thing.
Yeah, now that you said that too, this thing. He's going to follow along with your life.
Just pre-tape it.
Oh, he's at the Harry Potter Awards Museum or something like that.
That's a great
Where were you at the Pez dispenser factory or something?
Pez Museum was great. They did a great job. I actually got to reload because we left with buckets of Pez, but we've since, eaten all the Pez, so we need more Pez.
Really? Who's doing that? Because don't you send your kids out of the house for 6 months or whatever? So that's you and
yeah, but they eat beforehand. They crush candy. All they do is eat candy. It's terrible.
Okay.
Jesus.
Send them to the woods, eat candy.
Same. It's
kids are gonna be
no
jacked
goddamn rules in that house.
Yeah, Rapoport, come on.
No, there are rules. No, I'll give you.
They saw you not go up the bump, and they said, "I'm not listening to this guy."
No chance.
That's what they said. This guy's throwing from the grass in front of the mound.
Okay.
That's what they said.
Mom
I saw
shoveling.
Max and Jude said, "How can I take you serious, Dad? You threw from the grass with a mask on." That's what they said.
They were so. No, I don't think they cared actually. I mean, it's just like they were just like, "All right, good job." That was it. What are the end of it?
We love you, Rap. There's some more contract conversations happening.
Yeah, Rapshi, what's going on with all the rookies? I believe basically everyone is signed with a few guys still not signed yet, but the big one being Shemar Stewart, seeming to have no end in sight with the Bengals. Is that still the case? And is Trey Hendrickson looking at this like, I mean, you're not gonna pay me. Why don't we just cut this guy and give me all the money?
First of all, there are I think all the top 10, most of the top 10 guys have signed except for Patriots and Jags.
Shit.
Travis Hunter is going to be that'll be interesting. That might take a bit. We'll see. It's just it's
He's
complicated.
though.
Yeah, I mean, like I would be surprised if there's a holdout. There's almost never holdouts. But that just might take a minute. As far as the Shemar Stewart, yeah, I mean, it's my understanding it's a language issue. And the fact that he's not practicing is kind of the thing that gets me. And it sounds like there's a language issue as far as what he might sign in the waiver. Because, like, not the contract, but just the waiver to make sure he's covered if something happens while he's practicing without a contract. It's weird, I have to say. Almost never have you seen this. It's just, it's annoying because, like, it should be all buttoned up, but instead here we are talking about it in June. He's still not practicing. And I don't know if that's beneficial for anybody involved.
Yeah, but, there's some business angle that is smarter than everybody else in the history of the NFL.
Sure.
Somebody's got to figure it out.
No doubt.
Somebody's got the game figured out. And with Cincinnati Bengals, in the business conversation, whenever you try to take angles, they don't love that.
No, not at all.
They don't love. What's going on with Trey? Is that even still a thing over there? What's going on? What about TJ White? Is that even a conversation going on?
Yeah, that is a conversation going on. I know that the
Mark Caboli reported some things of the Pat McAfee Show and WWE contributor Mark Caboli. He said that Steelers made an offer to TJ Watt. They're in the middle of negotiations, basically.
That's true. Yeah.
What else do you know, Rap?
I think that they would like to get it done. It doesn't sound like they're particularly close or imminent. And like the Steelers, because of the way they do things, a lot of teams have deadlines at like the start of training camp is sort of like impetus for a deal. Because the Steelers cut off negotiations right when the season starts, like deals do not happen during the season for the Steelers. Sometimes it can mean like right up against the start of the season is when deals get done. We've seen a couple like Saturday before the season deals for the Steelers. I don't know that this is going there, but I just know it doesn't feel like there is anything like imminent or urgent. I just know he's really good. He deserves more money. That market has gone crazy, and he should get his share of it. It's just sort of unclear right now how much of that share of it he's going to get. And obviously, Micah still out there as well. I know Brian Schottenheimer was saying today expects Micah to show up for mandatory minicamp. I would expect that too. Players don't give up guaranteed money anymore. But those are two outstanding contract issues.
All right. Well, we'll follow along on @RapSheet on X, and I believe you're also on Instagram. And we found the angle of your throw. It was cute. You and your wife were just having a catch, basically. At look at that.
Good ball.
I mean, that's a strike.
Okay.
That is a strike, basically.
Yeah, lefty swings at that, maybe.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing that. That's not a strike.
Does it?
Yeah, lefty swings at that, I think, because it was a sinker. You see it? Go.
Oh no!
Not even on the mound. Yeah, same thing. Can you go back to that pitch there? That thing was quite. That thing went from 12 to 6. Can you go back to the beginning? Can we get the
circle change?
Look how big my jersey is. I've since upgraded with a better jersey.
Watch this thing go. Look at that break off. Poof, right there. I think at the end.
Was it knuckleball?
That was good.
There was more of a change piece, kind of outside corner for let a lefty swing over it.
Change piece.
First base mitt on.
You're the best.
No, catcher's mitt. Catcher.
That's worse.
Pop time. Pop time. Pop time. Pop time. You're the best. Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Raporport.
Yeah,
He's the greatest. I just got a text from somebody that said, how do you guys do this without football? This is every day? Yes, it is.
When
yes, it is.